I'm about to say, just know that I'm stepping on my toes too. My toes in 2000, because a lot of the things that I'm suggesting now that you not do, I did. So we're all in this together. I'm telling you this out of love and not out of any kind of judgment, right? So some folks who say I'm writing are essentially writing vanity projects. They don't want critical feedback. They don't want to revise and rewrite. They don't want to do the heavy lifting of being a writer. They don't want to learn from rejection if they even put themselves out there to risk it. Instead, they, I'm going to say we, because this was me at one point, we are in love with the idea of being a writer and the idea of having been published. And it shows in their work, our work. And then they wonder, like I wonder, why their work isn't being published or reaching a larger audience. Let me be clear about this. I think it's perfectly fine to write just for yourself. There's nothing wrong with a vanity project. I think it's fine to write for a very specific audience. And I really did mean it when I said earlier that we should all write whatever we want. But I want to make a distinction here between writing for yourself and writing that reaches a larger audience, because a common pitfall for folks is that they want to write for themselves, but then they get frustrated when their work doesn't reach a larger audience. Those are two different things. They're two different trajectories. So for your work to reach a larger audience, excuse me, you really do have to put in the work of writing, rewriting, and revising a lot. You have to be willing to receive critical feedback and risk rejection and realize that you can learn from both of those things. A writer named Deborah Dickerson, black woman, set me straight almost 20 years ago with this advice. I just couldn't get published to save my life. And it was because I think in part one, I needed to get better as a writer, but also because I just had these big name publications in mind, and I was sending work that was real raggedy to these big name publications. And not only was it raggedy, it was not a good fit for their audience, right? Because I was just focusing on getting published. And so Deborah set me straight. I had written her a fan letter. I didn't know her, but I loved her writing. And in my fan letter, I also asked for her advice on how to get published. I so desperately wanted to be published because I thought that that would make me a real writer. And I was wrong about that too. Well, Deborah wrote me back and gave me the best advice of my professional life. She didn't tell me what I wanted to hear, but she told me what I needed to hear. She said, stop worrying about getting your writing published and worry about getting better at writing. In essence, she was saying to me, and I'm saying to you all now who are emerging as writers, your growth as a writer is infinitely more important than getting published. So prioritize your growth. Prioritize listening and learning from writers who are doing what you want to do. Prioritize learning from rejection and critical feedback. Seek out critical feedback, asking folks who are generous enough to read your work to tell you how to make it good and how to make the good parts